that was the Jazz game. And hilariously enough, I joked in the game thread that they would totally do this. I said, watch them just blow the brakes off the Jazz. Now, the Jazz almost made this interesting towards the end because Wizards games are never they're never without doubt. They're never without doubt. They are, however, interesting. And not only did Russ actually back up his words, which he's done before. Anytime he said something, like, we've seen him back up his words before. The most legendary being that 2020 game. But the Beal curse actually got broken today. And it's thanks to Russ. Russ definitely was a part of contributing to breaking the Beal curse. Beal's curse of scoring 40 points and losing every game had been insanely well documented by people who wanted him off the team. Like, they wanted him to get traded. They wanted him to be free because this was happening so often. But now, there's at least one win in the litany of losses that follow. But as far as this game goes, the Wizards are a chaotic thing that exists, and we as fans just kind of are left to our devices trying to figure them out. It started off with Russ just absolutely dominating in the first half, pretty much. Dude went off in the first and just never looked back. He was hitting threes, which I think is the piece that people didn't expect to be as potentially good as it has been. A Russ 3 has not been as painful as it once was in the first half of this season. While this is just the first one of the All-Star break for the Wizards. After the All-Star break, they finally won a game. But Russ having this kind of performance with like 30-something points, he already got the triple-double. Triple-doubles are pretty much expected with him. The bigger surprise is when he sort of dominates through his shot. He was able to get whatever he wanted. If it wasn't in the post, it was just going straight inside. And like I said, his jump shot was on. And he was finding guys. Something that I like, though, is that I've said constantly that he and Beal are two consummate luminaries. They are the guys you expect to get production from. It's the surprise guys that you don't get production from that will affect the winning of the game. Because Beal went off 40 points. The dude's repertoire is insane. He's scoring any kind of way. And my favorite part of these two going off together is I think this is the first time they really went off and it felt effective and it felt dominant. I feel like they've kind of gone off separately and not been able to go off together. So this was good. This was nice. But like I said, really the wins come down to who's contributing outside of it. Rui Hachimura continues to step up and be amazing by just being a decent third option. And that is, in itself, is really helpful because when you have a consistent third option, suddenly it's a little harder for teams to swallow you up because they only have to worry about one guy or the second guy. But after that, there's no guy. And now there could be a guy. Rui Hachimura doing well. At one point, Russ was literally moving him to show him how to not turn it over in the post, which is it's just nice. You get those moments, and Russ's teammates have consistently, and any team, talk about how great he is as a teammate. But it's always fun to see it in a just witness it. It's fun to witness it, and it's nice for it to come in a victory. So who are these mystery contributors outside of those three? You had Alex Len at one point in the third quarter, just hitting little floaters over Rudy Gobert. And with the Wizards, Alex Len contributing anything is magnificent. It was crazy. He had a bit of a pick and roll game, and he was hitting floaters, and it was decent. I was like, oh, okay, we'll take it, Because with the Wizards, you're playing center by committee at this point. I think most fans have accepted that the center rotation for the Wizards is just it's a big yikes, and you kind of have to just deal with it. So when it comes to trying to overcome that center by committee, if they contribute, then at the very least you're getting something. On top of Alex Len contributing, Robin Lopez, I guess, did things. He was there. Al Neto also existed. In the first, he existed pretty strongly because what he did was he got an incredible steal on Jordan Clarkson, just harassing poor Jordan Clarkson, and then just barely dodges a turnover by just avoiding dribbling out of bounds and getting it to Russ for a dunk. Russ wasn't missing dunks either. That was the other thing I almost forgot. Russ was not missing dunks. But Hal Neto with a great steal. When he's on, he's very pesky on defense, but it came in a win, so it works today. And one of the other moments that I don't think will be celebrated as much, it's sort of like with the Boston game, where these kind of moments are appreciated, but to an extent they're forgotten because of the fact that Boston game ended in a loss. I'm talking about when Neto threw himself in front of Rudy Gobert on an alley-oop when he could have got yammed on, and it threw Rudy off just enough to make him miss, and that was a part of that run in the first quarter. Beyond that, you had Denny Avdia. He was out there doing things. He's overdue to make a three. He almost got hurt, and then he came back. So hopefully he's okay. That was kind of worrisome. It's like, oh, is he gonna be good? And then he came back and played. But the guy I didn't expect to see, who's also, I can't wait till he hits threes again, Isak Bonga, DNP All-Star. Isak Bonga was the DNP All-Star to play the game today. What? You what? You telling me Isak Bonga got minutes and not like 5 minutes in the end of the game? No, he was playing up until the fourth quarter when things got serious, and he didn't really get subbed out until there was another foul on Donovan Mitchell. There was another foul called for Donovan Mitchell, and Bonga got. But that was interesting. Is he gonna play again next game? I have no idea. I couldn't tell you, because that was the most minutes I think he's played all season in a single game. It's just like, oh, we can do this. Overall, as far as it being a win for the Wizards, what this means, you cannot. I'm gonna say this, and I hope it's as cold and heartless as I mean for it to be. You can take nothing from this game. It was a great win, but you can't take a single thing from this game. The Wizards play better against good teams, and while this is one of the most controlled, maybe slightly dominant victories they've ever had in this season, at the very least, we don't know if this same effort will happen next game, and then after that, will it happen the next game? Everything had to come together in such a manner that beating a great team like the Utah Jazz, who are still leading the West, I think, like they're the number one team overall, a lot of stuff had to come together. And towards the end, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert were not simply going to be denied. And that was the thing that, you're worried about coming into this game, because I think a lot of Wizards fans were just deflated when it came to this game. Before it started, it was just like, all right, the Jazz are going to just crush us because we have no real consistent center. We don't have a center. We have centers, and they are centers by position, by name, but Rudy Gobert is an actual center. But it turned out that the Wizards can handle that. They could handle Donovan Mitchell going off, because Donovan Mitchell it wasn't like he was just cold. It wasn't like the Jazz were playing bad, but the Wizards were also forcing a lot of turnovers, which was surprising. At one point, they had 20 points off of turnovers. it comes down to how you play to the level of your competition. And like I said, Rudy Gobert was doing things, Donovan Mitchell was doing things, and they did make it a game because they cut it down to about 5, and Beal got brought back in after he went out around the 9-minute mark when the Wizards were up double digits, and it's like, all right, Wizards, just literally just don't let them score that much. But the Jazz are a great 3-point shooting team and have been torching teams, so like I kind of understand if maybe you're not gonna do that because you kind of get torched from the 3-point line. Oh no, they're coming back. Oh God, okay, Beal, get back in here. And as Beal got back in there, Donovan Mitchell suddenly was God and was getting every foul ever. Joe Ingles was also doing things. Joe Ingles, he was trying to jingle the Wizards, which was not fun to think about. Jordan Clarkson, 6th Man of the Year, probably. Also scary to think about. But the Wizards survived. Even after, when the game was basically almost over, Maioni tried to yam all over the Wizards. I was like, dude, we're up 10. Please chill. He missed the dunk. I don't know what it is about Wizards rims, but Wizards can't dunk on them, and apparently a second-year guard from the Jazz cannot dunk on them either. I remember at some point I joked about a Robin Lopez fall counter. Like, I was like seriously gonna do it. What is his deal? He's like on the ground every 2 seconds, and I just thought about like how like Bonga's picking him up off the floor. Advi is picking him up off the floor, and nothing is called. He's just on the ground. I'm like, bro, if you don't stop, you're like a huge boulder of a human. Other just funny moments I thought about. Crime Tape Beal made an appearance like 3 times. And he like, the funniest part about it is like some of the hits he would take. Like there was the 4-point play he had, and he took the hit, and then he just, and the way that the hit would have happened, it would have never resulted in him just kind of crumpling over, because he kind of hits the shot and then falls over. Like he would have been fine, but he just had to add that extra spice. So that made me laugh so hard, because like Russ wasn't sure what to do, and only Hachimura knew to like give him like life to do the like fake CPR. And then and speaking of Russ again, Russ got the rock the baby. He pulled the rock the baby out, which he hadn't done. He hadn't done that since I think he hasn't done that since his OKC days. I don't know if he was doing it in Houston. I didn't watch him in Houston, but yeah, this was a game where the Wizards won instead of lost, so that's cool. And as far as it meaning anything, having any implications, I refuse. I refuse. They could win 10 straight games and I'd still be like, I don't know. So, if they want to keep up this level of play, cool. And they keep winning, cool. Am I going to trust it? Nope. Nope. Been here before. So, great that Wizards beat the best team in the league right now, and I'm sure that they will do basketball things. The only thing guaranteed about the Wizards is that you know that they are a basketball team and they will play basketball games. What happens in those games, your guess is as good as mine. Okay, the next game is against the Nets. I don't know how to feel about this. The Wizards have beaten the Nets in every game. However, one game the Nets didn't have Harden. Now they have Harden and Blake Griffin. They just don't have KD. Knowing the Wizards and knowing the Nets, anything is possible. That was a quote from the great Kevin Garnett, and it is so applicable to this team. The Wizards could get blown out, or they could blow the Nets out, or it could be another close game. Won't know till we see it happen. But at least the Nets also don't have a center. Well, they have DeAndre Jordan and like Blake Griffin. I don't know if Blake Griffin's playing. I will probably check that after. So yeah, Wizards beat the Jazz. Yay! The Wizards are anyway. Well, this guy says it turns out the Wizards can survive a concert that's only jazz. They might have secretly had some magical earplugs on. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like the French stylings of the Go Bears or the severely freestyle anyway. But now they must meet an old foe that captures fishes. That's right, we're talking about nets. Can the Wizards defeat what is literally just a tool? Find out on the next WizWatch.